Hey everyone. Well, if you're in server 1 on Global or C, you've probably noticed we have a new event on our UI. That's right, the Slime Rampage has come our way. And if you're confused about the mechanics, by the end of this video I promise you will be a Slime Pro, so stick around. So the Slime event is something that we did have a chance to look at in the closed beta test, the second closed beta test, but they have definitely changed a few things, and namely the reward tiers and how far you have to clear in order to unlock them. So let's just quickly go through the UI so you understand how this works, and if you're not in server 1 then great, you can learn how this will work before it unlocks on your server and be prepared to start dealing big damage and dealing with the mechanics as they come. So if you click on the UI element, you see this Slime Rampage UI here. This is everything you need to see. The event lasts for 7 days, and there is a ranking leaderboard here that shows how far each party has cleared. And that is not the only part that matters, because you can see here T381 is how many HP bars of the slime they've managed to clear. Now, Slime Rampage, basically the boss lasts for 5 minutes and you need to deal as much damage as you possibly can without dying, if possible, in that time period. If the entire party wipes, it's game over. However, if only 1 or 2 members, 3 members die, then they will respawn within 15 seconds. But it's better if you manage to make it through without dying, so you can deal as much damage as possible. In addition to the ranking here, there is this shared loot. When any team on the server manages to pass this stage of the boss's HP bar, you can unlock these Stellarite rewards for the whole server. So right now nobody has managed to reach the first tier here, but it has just unlocked like about 6 hours ago. So there is quite a lot of time left in the 7 days for us to power up a bit and then come back and hopefully be able to clear as far as possible. So it starts at T400 and then goes all the way up to T550, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we manage to clear all stages up to 550, that is 1,000 Stellarite for the entire server. So very nice rewards here. So as well here, as you can see, as you clear more HP bars of the boss, you get more and more rewards. This goes all the way up to 800, but I don't think people will have the power required to clear this far yet before this boss expires. I'm not sure what the repetition frequency of this event is, how many times it repeats. Is it once every 2 months, 3 months? Is it a one-off event? We're not sure, but that's basically the basics of the event. And then there is a matchmaking, and you can create party, of course, here as well. There are some other additional things here, like for example, there's a background board, there's a avatar frame, and etc. You do also get these luck packs here. As you clear, I'll show you these quickly. So as you clear, you unlock these luck packs every few stages, and plenty of other rewards. But if you go into your stash here, you'll see Rampage luck pack, and it's a random chance to get Stellarite or rune characters in varying amounts, up to 500 Stellarite per pack if you get lucky. So very nice luck packs here, very worth clearing as far as you can. Now let's quickly look at the details of the skills of the boss, because to some people they are a little confusing, especially his elemental abilities as the fight goes on. So I'll explain how his various abilities work, and then I will load up a recording of the battle we fought earlier and show you some of the mechanics in play during the battle. So his first ability here is Water Wave Headbutt. The slime headbutts the current target, which should be the tank. You do need a tank for this, by the way. Ideal party setup is tank, healer, 2 DPS because of this ability. If it wasn't for this ability, technically you'd be able to run 3 DPS and a healer, but this ability needs damage reduction from a tank to not get one shot, and a DPS who doesn't have very high endurance and HP or very high evasion and evades it will get one shot by this ability. So you do have to run tank, healer, and 2 DPS. So the Angry Slime headbutts the current target, dealing massive damage and adding Drowning Waters, which it receives great damage every 1 second. So Once the tank gets hit with his headbutt ability, they get a debuff, a damage over time debuff, and they have to run to the wood sector to cleanse it. Now the fight is split into 3 sectors, each with their own elemental symbol. Slightly like the dragon layout, it is a circle, but you have wood, you have water, and you have fire. There's 3 elemental symbols and 3 segments, and I will explain that elemental segments and the mechanics related to them as we progress through this guide. So all you need to know is you need to run to the wood sector to cleanse it. I'll just quickly show you from the video, just so you understand it here quickly. I'll just show this scene. So here you can see on the left hand side you have the symbols. You have a fire symbol, a water symbol, and a grass symbol. And on the ground you can see there are these symbols on the ground that match with those buttons. So right now I'm pressed the green button, we're standing in the green zone, and so on and so forth. So these are the elemental zones that I will be referring to as I describe the skills, and some of them will require you to move to the various zones as needed. So anyway, back to the skills explanation. So that's what basically, when I say run to the wood sector, you basically, if you're the tank, you run to the leaf icon and cleanse the debuff on you, the damage over time. So ground smash is a big AoE damage, and as the boss loses, or you clear the boss further and further and clear more HP bars, he deals more and more damage. So ground smash deals massive damage to all parties. Your healer is gonna need to run big heals for this, because towards the end of the fight this is gonna deal a lot of damage, and unless you're a very, very high power party, this is gonna be quite a lot of damage to mitigate. So just be aware your healer should be prepared for this ground smash and be prepared to heal the heck out of the party. So Frosty Aura is just a small damage over time. Now Life Bloom is important to know. Healers, keep this in mind. When you're standing on the wood sector, it gives extra healing effect to the target with the lowest HP based on HP percentage. So very important, healer, if you're in the fight and there's no mechanics that are telling you to go to a specific square, then you should always be standing on the wood section as the healer, because it will enhance your heals to the target with the lowest HP. As we rest the wagon, middle of the guide. Thank you. It's not the first time you've done this, Muffin, interrupting my guide for you to rest the wagon. Anyway. So just anyway, for positioning, make sure the healer is on the wood sector to get that bonus healing for the fight. Very important, especially as the fight goes further and further, that bonus healing will come in very, very clutch. Now, this is where we get into the big mechanics of the fight. This is elemental calling. So the boss will show above his head in the middle of the screen one of the symbols, water, fire, or wood. And you have to run to that sector before his cast bar reaches the end. If you complete that successfully, you get a stack of Elemental Blessing. Elemental Blessing, let's read this effect. Players with this effect deals bursts of high damage at intervals during attacks, and each stack of Elemental Blessing increases this damage by 5% up to a max of 20 stacks. This is a lot of damage, and it is very, very worth keeping these stacks up as much as possible. So every time you get a correct movement to the correct sector when he does this ability, you gain a stack of Elemental Blessing up to 20 stacks. So if you get it right 20 times in a row, perfect. Now units in the wrong sectors receive a damage penalty from Elemental Shock. Now the damage isn't actually the big problem. If you are in the wrong segment when the boss tells you to move, you will lose all of your stacks of Elemental Blessing, which is a big problem because this will greatly reduce your damage output during the fight and greatly reduce the number of HP bars of the boss you're able to clear. So very, very important that you try to avoid at all costs going to the wrong section to avoid getting the shock, which removes all your Elemental Blessing. That's the main problem with missing the section. The damage is negligible, it can be healed, but the fact that you lose your Elemental Blessing stacks is brutal. You can go from 20 stacks to 0. I mean, you basically reset the fight at that point. You don't have to reset the fight. I'm just saying, you know, it's a big impact on your damage output. So now the complicated part, and the part that sometimes people get extremely confused with, is after you've done enough damage to the boss for his elemental calling, he will no longer show you one element. He will show you a combo element. So it'll be like water plus water equals damp, fire plus water equals steam, etc. So I'm just going to quickly show you. I'm just going to go in with mercenaries so I can show you, just because at the start of the battle on the right hand side you can see the mix. Look here. So this is what it's going to show you. It's going to show you like water. This is going to show you water plus fire equals this. Water plus steam equals this. All you need to know about this ability here. Don't worry about what you see on the left side, the plus plus plus. Don't worry about this. Element A plus element B, don't worry. All you need to know is when he starts showing these symbols like this, go to the background color of the last symbol. So when you see this symbol, go to red, go to fire. When you see this symbol, go to green, go to wood. See what I'm saying? So this is how this part works. You go to the background color that corresponds to the last image in the row here. And that's how that works. You don't have to worry about the previous two. It really doesn't matter. So that's how that works. And now that we've explained the mechanics, I'm going to now switch to the video and show you how this works. So bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to swap to this source here. Okay, so let's let this fight go out. So you can see here where we started the fight, like, let me show you. We start the fight and we immediately are like going to like T240. So the first HP bars start very, very easy. There's the water headbutt. You can see the tank took damage here from the headbutt and we're standing in wood. So here it is. You see, this is the ability. Let's show that again. He'll show above his head here. Boom, water. So we click the button, we all move to water. Easy enough. Once we're done, we basically said, oh, just to make it easier, let's just all stand in wood whenever we're not being told to go somewhere, just so we all have a clear positioning in the fight. You don't have to do this. In fact, the less movement you have, the more DPS output you'll have, but the healer does always have to stay in wood. Now we are already in the wood section, so we don't need to move, and you can see you get a little tick above your head once you've got the area correct. So if you're wondering, well, what can I move again? Generally speaking, waiting for that little tick to show up is a good marker to wait for. So we're going to fire. We all stand in fire. We get the check mark. You can move now. You see, once you see that check mark, you can move. That's the time that you know you can move to the next section as needed. We decided here, the healer's like, no, I don't have to move. The healing output is not that strict right now. I'm just going to chill here. And then once the fight gets further on, I'll move to the healing zone, the wood zone. So now we have wood. We move to wood again. And throughout this fight, you can see here he does the water wave headbutt, which, the tank is evaded that attack, but it does do a lot of damage. Eventually, you'll see in certain points, the tank almost takes, 80, 90%. Here's the Berserk. This is the AoE. You can see, because we're not that far into the fight, it's not dealing huge damage, but it is enough that you do have to heal it. Again, moving to fire. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit in the fight to see if I can... Okay, here we go. So here we go. So when you get further enough into the fight, you will start seeing this. And then I will just, when this pops up, I'm going to pause. So you can see here, he shows blank plus blank, or so water plus blank equals water. So all you need to worry about is the background color, which is blue. So the background color is blue. We all go to blue. Next up, here we have another one. Water plus blank equals this. You don't have to worry about this left part. It doesn't matter at all. All you're looking at is the background color here. Red. We all move to red. Now, as you progress further into the fight, he is going to start chaining these abilities more and more and more. He also summons adds here. You can see the Berserk did a heck of a lot more damage here. I think I've got a debuff on, etc. So here we go. Grass. Everyone go to grass. Green background. Next up we have fire. Fire background. So go to the fire zone. So right now he's only doing 2, but as you get way further into the fight, I'm going to push forward a bit here. You can see he's going to just, I think there's already starting to chain here. Boom. Green now. And then blue now. So anyway, and then blue again. So you can see he's starting to chain this ability. And when you get to like sub 30 seconds, he's just doing it non-stop. So what you do need to know is that the order in which he uses the elements is completely random. So we had, for example, in this fight, he sent us back from green to blue to green to blue to green to blue like a dozen times, and then he sent us to red. And because he just did green, blue, literally 10 in a row, some of us went to red, one accidentally went to green, but still made it to red in time to not fail the to not fail the check. So you can see here, you have to be very on point, and I'm going to go even further into the fight. You'll see here, as we get to like the countdown, 19 seconds left, it's just non-stop green. Then it's going to be red, boom, like you got to go fast, okay? And then another one, blue. And he's just going to chain you non-stop, non-stop, non-stop. And you can see here, this is the X20. This pop-up here, X20, this shows your current stacks of your elemental stuff for how much damage output you're doing. And then the fight ends at 5 minutes, and there you have it. So that's how this fight works. Hopefully you understand the mechanics more clearly now. If you do still have any questions, then let me know in the comments down below. But hopefully this will help you clear further, do more damage, etc. Survive longer. If you're the tank and healer, you know your responsibilities now. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hit the like if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is uploaded. And that's a wrap. Join the Discord if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.